a little note. Maybe she put it somewhere and remembers seeing it. So he writes this letter, Dear Mom, I'm not saying that you did take the soup ladle, and I'm not saying that you didn't take the soup ladle. I'm just saying that we haven't seen it since you were here. What can you tell me? So Mom receives the letter and she writes back, Dear John, I'm not saying that you're sleeping with Melissa, and I'm not saying that you're not sleeping with Melissa. What I'm saying is, if she was sleeping in her own bed, she would have found that soup ladle a long time ago. You know, the universe listens. The universe listens to the real message. It's not about the words, folks. It's not about what we're saying superficially. It's about a much deeper energy that we are putting forth, that we are sending forth through our thoughts, our feelings, our words, and our actions. John and Melissa made this discovery that they were showing up out of integrity with the truth, right? And what ultimately happened? The truth was seen. The truth was heard. The truth was discovered. And the universe is exactly like that. We don't get away with nothing. Do you know that? There's no getting over on the universe. You can try to get over on your mom. But there's no, and you know, maybe John and Melissa could have gotten away with it, but she was pretty smart. But there is no getting over. The universe knows. It hears. It listens. The universe is energy, folks. You and I are energy. And we're all vibrating. We're all vibrating molecules that are either in alignment with one another or we're out of alignment with one another. Every thought we have has a particular vibration. The very energy field that we are has a vibration. Did you know that? If we want to demonstrate and experience sacred abundance, what do you think we have to do with our vibration? Raise it. Align it with what?
Abundance.
Abundance. With sacred abundance. You know, a lot of us have learned the spiritual tool of affirmations, right? How many of you know how to do affirmations and know what affirmations are? If you've been in uni any length of time, you know what I'm talking about. But an affirmation is basically a statement of truth. They're phrases of truth, where we might declare things like, I am prosperous. We did that in our Sacred Abundance class yesterday, right? We did it in 14, and now it's spilled over to Sacred Abundance. So when people start to share, they'll be like, I'm BJ, and I am prosperous. And we go, it's like being at a 12-step program. I am prosperous. Or maybe it's I'm healthy and vibrant. Or I'm loved. But the question is, when I say those affirmations, what are the thoughts and the feelings and the deeper meaning of the words and actions in my life? What is the energy that I'm bringing to that affirmation? Because I may be saying the words, I am prosperous, right? And yet feeling what? Lack. Feeling poor. Feeling unworthy. Feeling like I don't deserve this. Which message do you think the universe listens to? I am prosperous? Or all the other stuff that's lurking in the shadows, that I carry with me throughout the day, that I think about a lot more than maybe I said I am prosperous in that class. The deeper message is being sent, folks. And so if the words I'm saying are not in alignment with my cellular vibration, I'm not going to demonstrate what I want. I want to tell you Robin's dog story. I'm sure at some point you have all had the opportunity in your life, right, to interact with a dog. Or to be in the presence, at least, of a dog. Yes? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a cat person, so it's stretching it. But I did own a dog once in my life as a child. Well, Robin has a dog. She has an Australian Shepherd named Dakota. Now, if you can visualize, if Dakota is right there beside Robin, and she were to say to him, "You are the worst dog. You are just such a bad dog. Bad dog, bad dog." How do you think the dog would react? Wagging its tail, it is excited, it's about to get a treat, right? Oh my goodness, you're the best dog. By the same token, if he was there and Robin wagged her finger and said, "Good dog, you are such a good dog," what do you think the dog would do? Cower, shrink back, waiting for the impending punishment, right? Because the dog is reacting to what? The energy that she is putting forth. Well, Robin makes the point that dog spelled backwards is what? God. God. And God and the universe are like a dog. Breathe. And that what is really going to be heard and responded to by the universe, just like by that dog, is the energy that you and I send forth with what we're saying. The words don't matter. So if I'm seeking to demonstrate sacred abundance, I have to know and be confident and be ensured that my whole being, all those thoughts I have, all those feelings, all those words, and all those actions are in alignment with sacred abundance. This is not easy, is it? You know, putting God first, okay, I can do that, BJ. I'll meditate an hour a day. I'll go to church. I'll tithe. I'll start to think the impossible is possible. But now you're talking about every thought I think, every feeling I have, every word I speak, every action I take has to be in alignment with the universe for me to be abundant? Yes. Yes. I know. We get to take days off. Remember I told you you can take your ego out for a day? You get to have a day off and just be whatever you need to be. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. This is a sacred, spiritual practice that involves commitment and dedication, attention, mindfulness, staying in the moment, paying attention to how you're showing up right here and right now. I want to share another experience that Robin has in this lesson. I call it her radio experience, and I'm going to read it in her words. She goes, "I had an experience about a year ago. Good friend of mine does a Saturday morning radio show." That's okay, Jim. "And we had an exciting," so she has a friend who does a radio show, "and we had an exciting event that one Saturday morning my partner was going to be a guest on that show. And I was excited and I couldn't wait to listen to the interview on the radio. It was a great show. And my partner had set off, had headed out, and I popped open the email message that I had seen to get the right station, to be sure of the right station, AM 760. So I got my morning coffee, settled up in the bed, turned my little clock radio on, and I turned it just right to 760, and I got static. Okay, well, that one isn't a real reliable radio. So I went out into the living room to our nice big stereo system, and I used the wonderful digital dial, and I tuned it to AM 760, and I got static. So I pulled out the boombox, and I got the antenna, and I aimed it right where I knew the radio station was broadcasting, tuned it perfectly to AM 760, and got static. Now I'm starting to get a little frustrated, because it's past 10 o'clock, the interview has started, and I'm missing it. So I got in the car, backed it out of the garage, because I didn't want any interference, and tuned it right to 760, and got static. Well, out of frustration and desperation, I hit that little seek button on the radio. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the one that's going to go through all the stations that are currently airing? And lo and behold, there it was. When it went right up that dial to 1490. The email I read